So welcome everybody to our team training call for Team Voxination for Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Team Voxination, where myself and my co-host Kevin Duguay are just delighted to see everybody on the call here. And you know, it's been a summer where we're winding down. We're coming into almost Labor Day already, and it's like, where is the summer gone? And but I got to say, it hasn't been an easy summer with regards to Vox Life and sharing our technology and, you know, trying to get in front of people. But kudos to everybody that has, you know, done their best to share it. I see new people joining the team all the time, and that's exciting, dudes. It's always nice to see, you know, new people coming on and being invited and celebrated on the team, and ranks coming, and you know, the growth that you see for me is so positive. It's really exciting, and the stories that we continue to see in our testimonials group and the live videos from all our teammates, Irene and Elsa, and all our great teammates it's just so nice to see. And I'm excited to be back and do a little training tonight. And one of the things that we talked about with my beautiful sister Lori is, you know, we have change in the winds right now, and the pros and cons of change can weigh really heavy on people at times. And so, but certainly the thing that I believe remains constant in this world is change. That's the only thing that remains constant, is change. And I think for corporate, all of us are looking at this new comp plan and thinking, wow, this is scary. This is scary, but it's positive. I think it's positive. Is it positive? I think it's positive. Other people are saying it's positive. And so I think fear a lot of times gives us apprehension for change and to embrace change. And I have always been one, Dukes, you know me well enough. I'm like head first. I dive in, I go for it. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I'll take the fallout after. I'm like, you know, bumps, bruises, scars. Let's go for it. That's the way I played hockey. And I'm excited for this change. How about you?
Very much so. You know, I look at, like, in my world in sports, every year changed because every year you had a training camp and you had new players coming in and other players going. So you're always in a constant state of change.
Sure.
And you're right. The, you know, the new opportunities that are being presented to us and learning something new and moving the needle, as we say, and growing the business, and how do we get better at what we're trying to do to make a huge impact on this planet. That's how I look at it. This is a phenomenal global mission that we are all on, and we're going to go through more change. It's because that's just the way, like you said, it's the way it works with any company and any team that you're on. It never stays the same. And
Sure.
You're always trying to find ways to improve, because that's what it's about. It's like, it's the same mindset as an athlete.
Yeah.
There's new training techniques that come in, new systems, new equipment, new therapies, new protocols. Why? I got to get better. Just like those of us have, from coaching to books to new stuff that we're going to learn. And you're right. First reaction is always, okay, what is this? And it's like learning how to walk.
Yeah.
I learn how to walk. Well, try crawling for the rest of your life. Nah, crawling. My granddaughter is not into crawling for the rest of her life. Those days are gone.
Yeah,
you know?
She's up and motoring now.
Yeah, she's walking now. She's soon to be running. Say crawling will work when I got to go into the bed to find something. Otherwise than that, I'm 2 feet. Let's go. And I said,
well, when you think about it, if change wasn't something that people are excited about, then all gyms should shut down. Because people go into gyms to change. You know what I mean? People work out to change. People go to study at school and take courses to change. And so, you know, I understand and I get that, you know, change can be fearful at times. And so I asked my sister, I said, you know, I'm no expert on change and how to embrace it. I'm just one of those guys that I'm not afraid to suck at something for a while. I'll do it until I kind of figure it out. And I know there's people on here. I know Carla Archer is, you know, one of our great leaders in our team. and has done some great training stuff. And she's another one that's not afraid to suck at it. But I'll tell you, all of us did. All of us weren't great at what we did, but we're all getting better. And think of where we were years ago. And kudos to Jay for looking at how he can make it better for us, make it better for our customers. How can we get our customers involved? How can we make it more rewarding for our customers? And so I asked my sister to do some research and try and find something that, you know, would resonate with the field that we could share. And so she did a great job at doing that. And there's a gentleman that we found, and his name is Jason Clark. He's an Australian. Now, he's not the Australian actor Jason Clark that you may be familiar with, but Jason Clark is one of the most sought after creative minds in the country. As founder of Minds at Work, which is his company, he has helped people think again since the end of the last century, working with clients across Australia in virtually every industry and government sector on issues ranging from creativity and troubleshooting to culture change and leadership. And one of the things that, you know, we look at with Vox is the culture that we've created has been so positive. All of you that are on this call, we support each other. We do our best to support each other. That doesn't mean it doesn't come with frustration at times. It doesn't mean that we all look at things in this business and think, wow, we should do this or we should do that. We all have our own ideas of what we should do and how we could change things. But the thing is that we are agents or we're associates for Vox Life. And the best thing that we can do, I believe, is to give corporate a chance from the perspective of this new comp plan and embrace it to the best of our ability. So what we thought we would do tonight is, as I said, I'm not an expert. Duke, you're not necessarily an expert in how to talk to people about embracing change and so on. But I did find a guy through my sister's efforts with this Jason Clark that I think is an amazing talk that we can all take points from and apply it to how we look at this new comp plan, how we look at things going forward with Vox Life. I think corporate is doing a great job right now at doing these trainings to help us all understand this comp plan, because it's a detailed comp plan. And I know probably all of us have felt like deer in the headlights at times when we look at this comp plan. But I truly believe it's a very, very positive thing. And especially going forward, as we all try to embrace this and learn it, I think that this guy, Jason Clark, is a great talk that we can listen to tonight. So I decided what I would do with, you know, your agreement, Kevin, and Lori's agreement, that we would just listen to this 18-minute segment of Jason Clark and how he talks about corporate change and how to embrace it and what our mind really does sometimes when we face change. And we can all take our tidbits out of this. And so I hope you all have pen and paper ready and take some points down here. I've watched it probably 4 times now, and I find it very, very helpful on how to embrace what we're all going to go through as of September 1st. I mean, we're just coming off an amazing sale. I think that the sale that Jay put together, the buy 3 products, get 2 for free, has been a great success, and it's been a great success before, and there'll be more of that coming for our customers and building our customer base. But I think that if we listen to Jason here and we sit back and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a beer or a glass of wine or whatever you're drinking, relax and just take some points down here and think about how we can apply it to our own businesses and our own mindset as we go forward, all of us together, to try and learn this. So what do you think, Duke? Should we get her going?
Far away. Time's money.
Time is money. So let me just go here and I'll start this.
Someone gets up and says, behold, we don't have to do it like this. I've got a better idea. There's another way. There's another technology. There's a new way of seeing the world. And then you guys go, wow, that's fantastic.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, can everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Everybody hear fine? Okay, good.
And you can't wait to go to your workplace or go back to the people that you live with and say, rejoice, my people, there is a better way. It doesn't have to be this way. And you're expecting the whole world to go, fantastic, it's going to change. And this is what you hit. You go, come on, we could do this. We could totally do this. And they go, no. You know what? Because we've done it before, or now's not a good time, or we haven't got the money, or it's been done, it's never been done. That's not the way we do things around here. It's not part of the charter. It's traditional, it's complicated, it's political. Do you recognise any of these? And of course, they're all different ways of saying this. They're all just different ways of saying it's not going to happen. So what I've been doing, I work in the innovation space. I'm interested in this wall and how do we get past this wall? How do we take our passion and our ideas and actually make them happen? So I've been trying to figure out what this wall is made of and how do we get past it? Or if we can't get past it, go under it, go around it, or just smash through it. The first thing you need to know, these aren't real reasons. These aren't real reasons. And the reason that becomes pretty clear because they're so easy to refute. If they say, for example, it's always been like this, what does that mean? It means the problem is older than you think it is. It's not an argument for not changing it now. It's a reason why we should have changed it 20 years ago. And when they say it's the same everywhere, what they're really saying is the problem is broader and wider than you think. That's not an argument for not fixing it here. It's an argument for fixing it everywhere. When they say, for example, it's not in the budget, it means we've spent the money in the wrong places. Right? And when they say it's not in the charter, what they're saying is the people who are supposed to provide the vision weren't thinking as big as you. And when they say it's political, what they're saying is I've learned to keep my ideas to myself. And when they say it's just traditional, what they're saying is, actually, I don't know why we do this, but it's always been that way. Okay. And the thing is, they are so easy to refute. Yeah. So when they say things, for example, like it's too complicated, you say, I can make it simpler for you. And when they say, do you know what, it just sounds like it's too simple, you say, that's okay, I'll make it more complicated. And my favourite one, a friend of mine got this one the other day. This isn't what we pay you to do. And his answer was, that's okay, this one's a freebie. So, if these aren't the real reasons, then what are? What are the real reasons? No. Now, no one will tell you what the real reasons are, but I've been collecting them. I'm going to show you the 7 most, the classic reasons why people resist change and what to do about them. I'm too full of emotion and fear to think about what you're talking about. This is a big one, yeah? This has all come as a huge shock. That just means thanks for the heads up. No one told me about it, and now I'm just dealing with, horror. I'm scared of the transition, not the idea. Very often we think they don't like the idea. What they're really worried about is the journey to the idea. I don't know how big a deal this change really is. I don't see how I fit into any of this. I feel like I have no say in what happens. This is really what people are saying. And the one that cracks me up, the big one, is this one. I'm fed up with phony change. I want the real thing. Very often when people are saying, no, it won't work, they're not saying they don't want change. They're saying, I want change that's real. I want something I can believe in. So let me take you through these one at a time. I was doing with a group of people who were supposed to be planning the future of their organisation, and 20 minutes before I turned up, they all got fired, right? And the organisers said, maybe we don't want to do the workshop now, because it was going to be about the future. And I said, no, actually, this is more the reason why we have to have the workshop now, because we just have a different context. What will the future be for these people? And every time there's something happens, every time there's a change, there's 3 basic ways you can go about it. You can say, I want to see the positives, I want to see what's interesting about it, or I just want to focus on the negatives. Now, these people who've just been fired, what do you think? The negatives. So instead of trying to change their minds to help them embrace their change, I just said, how do you feel about it? And these were the 4 things. I'm scared, I'm angry, I feel betrayed, I feel stupid. I let them talk for about 15 minutes, and everything that came out of them was a variation on those same 4. And I wrote them down and said, have you got anything new? So after 15 minutes, they were exhausted. There was nothing else to say about the negativity. And then they started saying things like this. I kind of knew this was happening. I've never liked it here. I've only been putting up with this job out of sufferance. In fact, I need a good push. This is the best thing that could happen to me. They got there by themselves. And all I was doing was ratifying their feelings. I was just listening to how they felt. And then before I knew it, they were here. They were saying, this is great. I'm going to go back to study. I'm going to travel. Why don't we build our own little support group and keep in touch with each other? Now, all of them have got better jobs and they all keep in touch because they went through this whole thing of what's the negatives, the interestings, and the positives. If you've ever seen a small child running and they fall over, for a couple of seconds, they don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. They're not sure. Have you noticed? They just sit there in this kind of neutral space like, okay, this is different. And what will happen is, if dad says, that was funny, and the kid gets up and does it again. But if mum runs up and goes, oh, my darling, are you okay? The kid goes, I don't think so. So as children, we have this positive, interesting, negative space. And this interesting space is where the artist is, it's where the innovator is, it's where the inventor is. They'll say, gee, this is unusual, what can we do with this? But as we get older, we compress that space and we see everything in terms of this dichotomy between good and bad. This is good, this is bad. And our default is to react to every change as being bad. So this is a way of people to understand, to audit their emotions about the state. What about this? I'm scared of the transition. I'm not scared of the idea. See, I used to think it was about saying, this is what we're doing at the moment, it's no good. This is where we should be going, it's way better. But what I've realised is the way we do things now have got a couple of good things going for them. The status quo is all of these things. It is known, it is proven, it's familiar. Sure, it's insane, but we know how to do it. We don't have to adjust anything. It's crazy, but it's what we do. You heard that argument? Whereas, what's the problem with B? Well, it's all of this stuff. It's unproven, it's uncertain, it's freaky. Someone told me once, everyone's afraid of something. It's very true. We've all got something we're afraid of. And it could be failure or ridicule or clowns. I mean, I don't care what it is. In the unknown, the thing you're scared of could be there. I'm scared of maths. I'm enumerate. So any change where I have to do some numbers, I get very, concerned about. So if the unknown contains maths, I'm nervous. So how do we solve that problem? Well, it's pretty easy. Between where we are and where we're going to get to is all of this stuff. And this is foreseeable, predictable stuff. We know about this. Yeah? I'm someone who, I don't like flying very much. I like coming to Perth, but I don't like getting to Perth. Yeah? So what happens if I have a really turbulent flight? If the captain says it's going to be bumpy, get over it, I'm fine. If he says nothing, I'm imagining at the front of the plane, the cockpit's on fire and he's madly trying to control us from going at it because I'm not being told. Okay, so this is the trick. It's giving people the heads up. It'll be bumpy, it'll be weird. Just fasten your seatbelts, this will be the ride. I don't know how big a deal this change really is. I love this one. We think about this idea of 4 doors. The first door are the things that we used to be able to do and can still do. I get people to write a list. What are things that we could do before the change that we could still do? So I know one organisation that said to its staff, you're going to be working from home in whatever hours you like. Everybody freaked out. And we said, okay, what are the things that won't change? Will we still have email? Will we still make phone calls? Will we still be in the same business? Yes, a long list of things that weren't going to change. Oh, everyone calms down. Door number 2 are the things that we couldn't do before and we still can't do. Make a list. Well, we can't put poison in our product, and I suppose we can't cheat or lie or steal or that kind of thing. That's also a long list. Door number 3 are the things that we could do before and we can't do now. In this case, it was get stuck in peak hour traffic and have long meetings that go nowhere. Gosh, could you sacrifice those? You can for door number 4. That's a door that's only recently opened. And these are the things we couldn't do before, but we can do now. It means I can make my job suit my lifestyle. I can get away from this work-life balance thing and start thinking work-life harmony. You see some sense in this? And so what we're really asking you to do is to say, guess what? This is what we currently do. This is all the stuff that won't change. This is the stuff we're asking you to let go of. This is the stuff you get to do in exchange. And suddenly everybody calms down. They can see the change has got edges to it. Okay. I don't see how I fit in any of this. People feel like they're not being consulted. The key to this is the difference between authorship and ownership. What we do is we say to people, here's the change, own the change. Gosh, why aren't people having ownership of the change? You've seen this happen. I'm going to say, here's why we've got to change, here's what has to change, here's how it's got to change, and you report to me, and by the way, I want you to own it. It doesn't work. What works is authorship. If you say, here's why we have to change, here are some things that have to change, but you tell me how. You tell me how you're going to make it work. You give them authorship. You empower them to design the change for themselves. And suddenly they're not responding to change, they're taking control of change. Here's one of my favorite techniques for this, what we call the renovator's delight. You think about it, if you ever renovated a house, what did you keep? What did you chuck? What did you change? What do you add? They're the only 4 questions. And we talk to organizations and say, take this tool, what would you do? What would you keep? They say we would keep our values, we'd keep our passion, we'd keep our enthusiasm, we'd keep our best people. What would you chuck? We'd chuck our negativity, right? We'd chuck our systems. We'd get rid of the bureaucracy and the red tape. What would you change? We'd change our culture. We'd change our attitude. We'd change our thinking. What do you want to add? We want to add empowerment and innovation and creativity and fun. Guess what? They've just designed all the things that we thought we'd have to convince them to do. Now it's their idea. Can you see the power in this? They've been given authorship. They're given the power around to make the change. Okay, yeah, but people hate change, don't they? Well, if this is true, we've got to tell the fashion industry right away, because they are based entirely on the idea that people want to change their look. And we better talk to the tourism industry as well, because apparently people don't want to go to other places. Yeah, I mean, and all those people in gyms and those people who are trying to lose weight and people having cosmetic surgery or getting their hair done, we've got to tell them how much they hate change. And people who have elections and people who have affairs, we've got to tell them too. No, apparently you hate change. It's not true. Guess what? Bored people want change. Frustrated people want change. Passionate people want change. Irritable people, cynical people. Actually, the number of people who want change is much greater than we imagine. It's not true that we hate it. In fact, this is closer to the truth. When I take a brief on working with a group, I'll be told our people don't want change. And I listen very carefully to what people say. And what's interesting is as the conversation evolves, it's not that they don't want change. The truth is down in here somewhere. The truth is they want real change. They're sick of believing something that isn't real. They want something genuine. So let's look at that. The thing is, we've all dealt with this before. We know what it is. We know how the lack of change can get packaged up as something new, and we're savvy to it. Someone comes in and says, behold my people, we're going to do it differently, we're going to change everything else. You go, yeah, this is just new look VAM. You know, it's just a repackaging. So how do we know the difference? And is it likely that we now suspect all change as being fake?
Reese McGuire gets things started with a leadoff double. 15th double of the season for McGuire. The Blue Jays finally get their first extra base hit against Lance Lynn. What a pretty swing that was from Reese McGuire. Sinker down and away. He's going to stay on top of that ball. Watch how the barrel stays on top of the ball. That's how you could. It's a play by Cesar Hernandez. He was in shallow.
And then finally, is the change offered or foisted? Am I invited to the change? Am I invited to the change, or am I forced to make change? And guess what? Real change, which is cultural and offered, works. Fake change, which is structural and foisted, doesn't work and shouldn't work. So let me show you how to break that up. If I'm talking to you now, you've got two choices, really. Your minds could be open or closed. That's your choice. I can't affect that as well. You could say, you know what? I'm not buying a thing this guy says. That's your right. Or you could go, yep, I'm totally into it. That's also your choice. Yeah. This is the choice that any group that you talk to will make. I have choices as well. I could be talking about something genuine or something phony. That's my choice. So what are the outcomes of the choices that you can make and the choices that I can make? Let's look at them. Let's imagine that you've got your mind open, and And what I have for you is nothing. This is just phony change. You know what that means for you? Big disappointment. You've got your hopes up one more time. You've been let down one more time. That's what that means. So what would happen though, if this was an empty, shallow badging and you went, no, I'm not buying it, then you win. You reserve the right to say, I told you so. I didn't buy that for a second. It didn't fool me. But what about this? What if your mind is shut and we have a real opportunity here? If we're talking about something genuine, what? You lose the opportunity. You lose the possibility. What if your mind is open? What I'm telling you is real. Then here's where we are. We have an opportunity to make a real difference. So when I work with very cynical closed groups, I present them with this choice. I'll say, here's your choice. You have the choice to close your mind, to lose a rare opportunity to make change for the right to say, I told you so. Or you could give this a fair chance and open your mind and risk disappointment for the chance of making a difference. When you lay it out like that, the choice is practically pretty straightforward. This is my belief about people. What are we here for? What do we want? If you're a young person, the conversation is about destiny. If you're an old person, the conversation is about legacy, but it's still the same. What was I here for? What did I do? What did it amount to? I ask people, how do they want to be remembered? What is it for them? Here lies me. I protected the status quo. Do you think that turns anybody on? Do you think anybody wants that to be their life's achievement? What about this one? I met all my KPIs. I satisfied all departmental and OH&S standards. Do you think that this excites anyone? Do you think anyone will give their life to this? Or this one? Is this a life? Is this a... I don't think anybody wants this. I don't think anybody wants this. My belief that a fundamental human need is to contribute, is to make a difference, is that you were here for a certain time and you made something of it. Tolkien said, all we have to decide is what to do with the time we have. I put it in much simpler terms. For me, you can keep things the same or you can make a difference, but you cannot do both. That is the choice you've got to make. I've made mine, you choose yours. Thank you very much.
Thank goodness for subtitles.
Wow.
You know, Terry, when he shared the gravestone, I'm thinking back 7 years ago when I met Jay. I'm in a meeting with this guy, and that's last slide that he put about being open-minded. I just sat there and I listened to Jay, and he did a very simple demo with me that I thought I knew something, and I got absolutely crushed on that demo. And 35 years of knowledge was wiped out in an instant. 35 years, gone like in a snap.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget Jay's words, because he shared what he shared. He says, I'll give you 24 hours to make a decision. Because Jay was on a mission. And I got home that night. I told my wife, you're not going to believe what happened today. And I could have come up with reasons why not to go forward, but something in my gut said, go help this guy. Do whatever you got to do. Get there, however you got to get there. Do whatever it is. Just that was the moment. And now I look at you and me and Lori and everybody on this call and all the people and all the lives that we've touched. And we all are open-minded, because I'm sure some of us on this call were like those skeptics going, nah, I've seen this magic trick before. I know you're faking it. You're not pulling as hard. You're not, whatever, all that stuff, right? And then people go, right, try it yourself. Tell me what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had a story, and then we all made a difference. And I know people laughed at me. People thought it was whacked. People got, what are you talking about? No, man, I know my body, and I know what happened to me, and I don't care what you tell me. I know what happened to me when Jay did that demo. And all of us on this call have had a moment where we shared this tech and we were affected and we made a change. We could have said, no, I'm not going to use this, but no, I think there's something here. I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to be status quo. I'm going to align or partner or get a friend or Foxhole buddy or mentor, and I'm going to go on this journey and see what happens, see where it goes. Because it's unknown. It's the unknown for all of us, right? Every day is a new day in this adventure, as I call it. Every day is a new road trip. Every day we're going somewhere different to go share this tech, because there's new people coming into the world. And
Well, I think that the nice thing about, this guy tonight and what he spoke of is that, what do we want to be remembered for? And as I said before, the pros and cons of change can weigh heavy. And Jason puts it eloquently that a lot of times it's our own, mind that we just kind of, have a leader like Jason that kind of massages us back into thinking, oh, this is a good thing. It's just our mind that tends to play havoc on us. And maybe it's that little guy that, sits up in your shoulder that says, no, you can't. And this guy over here saying, yes, you can. And this guy saying, no, you can't. And, when we look at, the change that we're all doing or that we're all going to embrace with regards to the comp plan, we all have a learning curve. And some of us will get it faster and some of us will take more time to get it. But we got to remember, we're all on the same team. And there's going to be people that will reach out, and I'm going to be reaching out to people to say, hey, you like training tonight? If you like training on the comp plan tonight, but it's our own duty for all of us, as we all have taken time to learn so much about this technology, and think about all the things that we've learned about our technology since we started. The calls with Dr. Mark, the calls with the leaders here that have trained us and taught us how to, present the product better and how to be more confident in ourselves and so on. So I totally 100% understand that change and understanding a new comp plan is difficult and can be difficult, but I invite you all to embrace this change as something new and exciting, as something that gives us all an opportunity to start from square one, to learn it, embrace it, and share it with people out there in the world that may have already bought product from us, customers, and so on. And listen to what he said. Listen to what Jason says here. That what we're doing here is, what are we leaving behind? What are we doing with the time that we have here? And trust me, people, I will put the link in the recording, because I know that I saw some notes coming through the feed here about, the sound was off, or that you missed and it was strange going in and out. And I think maybe what happened, I'm not positive, is when I muted myself, I think maybe the sound went down. I'm not sure, but I'm going to post the link for this Jason Clark. He's an amazing speaker, and I think it's worthwhile for all of us to look at this talk again and take some of the things that he speaks about and try and embrace them in our own journeys here, with the change that we're all going to have to learn if we want to continue to do this journey and this mission of helping people. So maybe what we should do now, Kev, is takeaways. Anybody want to just raise your hand or whatever, and takeaways, anything that from this talk that you heard that you thought is something that you can apply to yourself, something that maybe you have been thinking about doing but haven't done so far, and maybe something that you could share with your teammates. Anybody have something they want to add? Please feel free to put up your hand and speak, or forever hold your peace.
I can't believe they got 25 women on the call and they don't want to talk. This is like a miracle. This is like Eric, I can't believe that. This is an illusion. It's got to be an illusion.
Do we scare people?
I can't find my hand to put up, so I'm just gonna blurt it out.
You go, Sid.
The point that I liked more than any other point that he made was when he said to involve people in orchestrating the change, giving them authorship.
Yeah.
I think that's powerful, and I believe 100% that it's very effective. So, you know, what did we used to call it at work, Terry? The think tank.
Yeah.
I think it's a very valid point, and I think once we have the particulars of the comp plan down, a think tank around, you know, how to effectively implement the change would be the subject of a good training call, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And empowering other people on your journey, teammates, friends, I think is so key, Lori. I think that's a great point. And you know, I think that no one is better than anybody on this team. No one is above everybody. We're all doing our best to do the best we can on this journey and share it. And I think we all have a duty to share what we learn. And if we experience something that's helped us to be successful with presenting the tech, with building you know, a mailing list, with presenting to a company or whatever, I think these are all good things that we can share together. I mean, dudes can talk to you about the guy on a hockey team that's a puck hog, right? He's not liked. So the guy that shares the puck and passes the puck and involves his teammates and helps them set them up for goals and so on is a pretty popular guy or girl on a hockey team or any sports team. You know, and I think that's what we can look at here, that whatever we embrace on this journey with regards to learning, with regards to presenting, with regards to, you know, as Jason said, coming out and empowering others on the team is a really key point. So thank you, Lori, for that. I think it's a great point for sure.
Well, we have to feel like we can make that difference he's talking about, and we can. There's no doubt. But it's kind of the synergy thing, I think, that he's talking about, where if we feel a little bit in control and we feel like we're being heard and we have a contribution to make, I mean, that's foundational to like good chemistry on a team. And so, yeah, I think that right to have some authorship about where things are going in a group setting is hugely valid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to blurt out like Lori did? If you don't know how to raise your hand, that's fine. Carla, I know you're just itching. I can see it in your face right
Your hand
now.
went up.
Whose hand's up? Let me see.
Carlos is up, man.
Carla!
Hello. I had my hand raised before. That's okay. I love this video. I like that it uses humor to create relatability to the fears that a lot of us have. And I think it's a great tool that we could use in our own meetings with our teammates to, you know, when we can kind of laugh at ourselves, it helps to alleviate a little bit of the fear, because the unknown always and change can always be a little bit scary. So I'm really happy that you presented this tonight. It was quite interesting to see, and it made me feel a little bit better about all the changes that are going on. And, you know, just remember, it's one step at a time. It may look like a really big picture and a really big plan. And I love how corporate is introducing it as such, you know, one step at a time. Let's learn this. And if this is the ballpark you're playing in right now, learn this. And if you are ready, then move into the next one. And so there's no need to feel like you need to know it all. Know what you know right now, and just keep building on that.
I think that's a great point you make, Carla. This is the ballpark we're playing in today, as far as the comp plan is concerned. Let's all get used to this ballpark. Let's know how, you know, the ball comes off the bat in this park, and let's learn that, and then let's move on to the next stadium. So I think that's, you know, a really, really good point. And from me, some of us vets that have been around for a bit, what's really exciting to me is to see the growth on people that were so fearful of presenting and having the confidence in how to present properly as far as our tech is concerned. And those people that have been on the Ask the Doc calls, that have been on your training calls, have been on the team training calls, have gone to the summits and so on, that are presenting, you know, in a way that they might have never thought was possible. So they quietly embraced what they were learning and decided to play in the ballpark of learning about this technology. And now they're getting out of that ballpark and getting into somebody else's ballpark and presenting and sharing it in a way that is professional. And that's a really good way to put it, that, you know, as we learn this comp plan and we embrace the change, that, you know, playing in that ballpark for now is really a good thing.
Cool.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank
Paula, go for it.
Well, I really liked what he had to say about, you know, not being the person who dies with the dreams left behind, and the analogies that he used when he was flashing the pictures of, you know, broken dreams and not being the one that, you know, left your superiors looking good. And that's the thing about us being able to embrace this change. I'm excited for how I'm going to be able to present this brand ambassador to customers, because I've had, over the course of time that I've been with Vox, I've had lots of people who, you know, want to be customers, but they don't want to grow a business. They want to be able to place orders on their own. Or I've had some people who signed up as associates only ever just to be able to get the wholesale pricing. And I sometimes felt like I did them a disservice by encouraging them to jump on board, when in reality, it might have been just better for them to, you know, reach out to me periodically to order their products. So I am excited because the last little while I have done Zoom with new customers. I have gotten new customers on TikTok. I got my first customer on Instagram last week with the special. And the interesting thing about that lady was that I have been talking and liking and communicating with her for over a year on IG, and she always said no. She always said no, and would thank me for reaching out and would say, no, she's good. And then last week she reached out to me and said, okay, I'm ready to get the socks. And then I got an amazing testimonial from her that she loves her socks, right? So I think that if we can continue to embrace these changes, the thing that we need to do is continuously get new customers and build a new team. And if we can build a new team, the others that are, you know, still with us will either say, okay, she's moving along, she's doing or he's doing what they want to do with this business. But they say that the best thing to do is, you know, embrace comp plan changes, because all sorts of companies do it. And the answer isn't to say, oh, that's it, I'm just going to go with another company, because our mission is completely different than somebody who is suggesting or recommending a protein shake, you know, something to wrap around your stomach, something to, you know, put on your face. We are so unique that we have to continue on this mission. And I think Jay has really thought about how this can move us forward. And so I'm really excited for September. I look forward to the day that we can all get together again and celebrate each other's successes. But for right now, during this pandemic, we have to try and do the things that we can do, such as get on these Zooms, do Zoom calls with our customers, and just, you know, accept the fact that we've got this new compensation plan in September, and the new people will not have known of the old. Anybody that we bring on as a new customer, they don't need to know the ins and outs of the old plan, or that it went 7 levels deep. They don't need to know any of that. It just is, you know, a chance for us to be excited about the new things.
Yeah, Paula, that is very, very positive thinking, and thank you for that. You know, as you said, those that are new coming in after September are not going to know what the old comp plan was. And trust me, I mean, Jay is not a dumb guy, and Jay wants the company to survive. And there's lots of companies that have not survived during, you know, a year and a half of COVID or more. You we've survived up until this point. And for Jay to, pay the kind of money that he paid to be consulted with, maybe a lot of us have shouted or thought, without shouting, maybe thought that, hey, some changes to our comp plan, some guaranteed, rank bonuses would be nice. We've all probably said it and thought it before, but it's happening now. We have some of those areas. We've got 10 ways to make money now in this company. We have customers we can get involved with and reward those customers as brand champions. So it's really good insight, Paula, to be able to say, hey, let's all embrace this change, and let's come at it from a positive view, and let's be able to learn this comp plan to the best of our abilities, so that when we do present to people, we can show them the way. And don't ever think that Jay isn't, watching the FTC and being very, very wise and, being very, very cautious as to how we operate as a company in the network marketing industry with regards to customer-based products and having an amount of customers that this industry is demanding for us now. And there's so many of us that have done, such amazing jobs at presenting and building customer bases and so on, so that, when corporate puts through these sales and so on, we can see a boost and we can reward our customers with a percentage off and so on. I think that the change is going to be very, very positive, but it's up to all of us, as you said, Paula, to embrace it and to learn it and to be patient with it and to understand it. And hey, I don't think there's anything better in the world than to reward your customers and to make them feel important and to make them feel that we're grateful for their purchase. And, do something that implements a system where they can feel safe about ordering more because of the discounts that they can get and so on. And let's face it, we all like to get a deal. We all like to get a deal when it comes to buying something. But I think that this new comp plan will also give us a new set of integrity to stand on with regards to the power of our product. With 4.5, 5 years of building the brand of Vox Life, and we're starting to see some momentum in our brand. When you have ex-pro hockey players like Alexei Kovalev over in Europe showing pictures of wearing our knee highs and how he just feels like a different hockey player and so on. These are big name players, and we're not paying to say this. And so, it's been a grind. We're the pioneers, guys. We're all the pioneers here that have stuck around and dug in deep and done what we could do to, build this brand and share this technology. And now Jay, consulting with, the Sheffield Group, Mike Sheffield, who's built a number of big company comp plans. I'm sure that didn't come cheap for that consultation and to build this planned out for all of us. And I think that we owe it to corporate and owe it to Jay and Manjeet, his wife, and all of us as teammates to really give this a shot and really give it a shot to understand it and present it in the best way we can to our future customers, give them the opportunity to stay as a preferred customer, a brand champion, or join us. I like it that we have sort of a grooming trail for them as well to groom them into joining us after wearing the product. So very, very good point, Paula, and thank you so much for sharing that for sure. Appreciate it.
I just wanted to add one other thing. I did a house call today on an old friend from a networking business that I was a part of years ago. We're all friends on Facebook and whatnot. And he's been watching the last 2.5 years of me being involved with Vox. And last week he finally reached out and said, I think I need the knee highs and I need to be able to get some help. And so Elsa was able to help me to get a hold of the medical grade knee highs for him. And we consulted with him together. And that's what your upline is for. That's what your teammate is for. So I really appreciate the fact that she's a practitioner and that she was able to help me. I went to his house. I did the balance and stability test for the first time in over 2 years. And that was the first time I felt comfortable to, go out and present. And I just brought a few things with me for him to look at. And he said, okay, I'm going to get the regular knee highs as well. And I suggested he do pictures of his legs and take notes of how he's feeling. And
Mhm.
that's, again, like, we're not a protein shake company. We are unique in everything that we represent, but our people are watching us. And that relationship was, I've approached him a few times over the last 2.5 years, and it was always no thank you, no thank you. But something clicked for him in the last week or two. And so I'm appreciative of us being able to, do these calls, do the training, all the things that corporate wants to do for us to help us grow and develop, so that we'll have more of those people who have been watching reach out. And I suggested that maybe he'd like to become a brand ambassador when September hit. And he right off the bat said, oh, no, that's not for me. And then I backpedaled and explained a little bit more about it. And he was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So
Mhm.
then it's just getting the wording right for when
Sure.
September happens, to be able to have him have a better understanding how he's going to save 10%, how whoever he refers is going to save money. And so I'm sure that with the help of each other, we're going to get there.
Yeah, I think you're so right, Paula, because again, if we embrace the change, we're going to learn the change. It's when we don't embrace the change that we won't learn it. And so if you want to learn it, then embrace it. We don't have to be perfect the first time.
Mhm.
Did the baby quit when he fell? No, he got back up again. And so we all know that.
Hey,
Oh,
Terry.
yes, Diane, how are you? Nice
I'm
to
good, thank you. Sorry I'm late. Yay. Oh, we match again. The commentary, I'm sorry I was late. I was on another call. But about the fact that we're pioneers. My husband used to always tell me, he said, the pioneers found the best land and the sweetest water, and they took the most arrows.
Mhm.
And so we're going to take some arrows from people. With my team so far, the people that I've talked to, they're not slinging arrows right now. They're just in a state of confusion.
Sure.
And I think the fact that Jay had broken down what we were doing, Inder's first call was a little bit confusing to everybody because he tried to do it all at once.
Mhm.
And when Jay came on the next week and just broke it down just to the marketing for that one,
Mhm.
then all of a sudden there were like little clouds breaking away so the sun could come in a little bit. I've been with 3 companies over 40 years that have all experienced the comp plan changes.
Mhm.
Some I agreed with, some I didn't. And I think that one of the things that I've learned over the time is that we tend to show up and throw up, whether it's to our clients or to our team members, and we want to give them all the information all at once.
Mhm.
And if we tell people what they need to know, say, do this, and then we'll go to the next step, all of a sudden the pressure is off.
Mhm.
They breathe a little bit easier. They move a little bit smoother.
Sure.
And so from what I've seen on this comp plan, I'm not worried. I was on it like everybody else with the first one and got all, woo. And then when I saw last week's, it was very calming to me.
Yeah.
Be able
Yeah.
to look at it and to remind people that we're dealing with retail now, not wholesale. And the company is going to give our customers gifts for referral where it's been coming out of most our pockets. I know I always give my customers something if they refer business to me. And now I don't have to anymore.
Well,
And
Diane, it's nice to hear that, your years in the network marketing industry with your experience, that you're embracing this change and you're positive about it, because I'm not a network marketer. My tenure in network marketing has not been that long. I was doing it part-time basically for the products, and then embraced sort of learning how to do the business. side of it, and I feel that I'm learning every day, and I learn from my teammates, and I expect to learn from my teammates. I expect to learn from people, right? And I think that first and foremost is embracing the fact that change is not always negative.
Right.
Change can be very, very positive if we give it time to take root, if we give it time to learn it, if we give it time to share. And I think that first and foremost, we have to have success rate with our people on the product first. I think it's so imperative with this company. I mean, a bad strawberry shake's a bad strawberry shake, right? And we have to make sure that we don't let people have a bad strawberry shake. And what I mean by that is that we have to make sure that we set up our people for success on how to wear the product properly and long enough to know that what part neurology plays in the functionality improvement of their life. And, you know, with that, getting them to wear it every day for 21, 22 days is not something we knew at the beginning.
Right.
That's something that we all learned, and we have been on this journey together, and we've learned together. And so we're going to be on this journey together, and we're going to learn things about this comp plan that will come to the surface, and that, you know, I'm expecting and hoping and praying that all my teammates share it. And we'll get on.
And my team and friends who know me know that I have a mantra that I've had for many, many years. And that's eat the fish and spit the bones, but always show up at the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right?
good point. I like that.
Take what nourishes you, what gives you pleasure, what feeds your passion. And for a period of time, if you need to, let the other stuff just go.
Yeah.
Just let it loose.
Yeah.
Right? Come to the meetings like this, come to the trainings, show up at the table,
Yeah.
and then take the bites that nourish you and then move forward.
Yeah, that's a great point. My sister's husband always says, absorb and discard. You know, discard the stuff that doesn't
Right.
fit right now, and maybe down the road it will fit, and absorb what you can absorb. And I think that, as you said, coming to these training calls are important for all of us. And whether we're presenting, whether we find something online that we can share, and help our teammates understand how to be better, how to present better, how to understand the comp plan better. It's up to all of us to do that. And you know, as Carla said about the ballpark that we play in, I mean, a quarterback doesn't go and learn every single play in one day. He works on the first maybe 4 plays and learns.
Check out the Broncos right now, and they're trying to figure out which of 2 people are going to be the quarterback.
Well, I think we're all quarterbacks of our teams, and it's up to us to learn the plays, but we don't always have to learn it in the first night. So showing up to the meetings, showing up to the trainings, which corporate is doing, is, I think, you know, so important. So thank you for that, Diana. I really appreciate your input, and you're a wise and wonderful lady, and you're a very dear friend. And, you know, you've been in this game for a long time, and your wisdom is much appreciated for sure. So thank you for sharing. Okay, we have time for one more, I think. Dukes, what do you think?
Well, I had a rookie on the call here, the lady with the harp. She just joined. She had her hand up, and I think that backdrop is so appropriate because I don't know how to play the harp, but I know it makes great music. But you had your hand up, so I don't know if you want to close us out. Is it welcome to the team? Because I know you're brand new, because I saw your post on the Team Vox Nation site. So it's always great to have.
Who with the harp? Was that DeLuna?
Top left-hand corner. I saw the post. So
DeLuna, say hello.
We'll go with the rookie to close it out and see what her take is, because you know that's the lifeblood of any organization is recruiting.
Absolutely.
So
Deluna, you're muted.
You have to unmute yourself.
No, she's unmuted.
Play the harp. She can play the harp, but
I don't know whether her microphone is hooked up, because she can probably hear us, but she's not muted. She's just going to try and get her mic to work there.
Pressure's on, man. The orchestra's ready to play.
Is that what?
There you are. There you are. We got you now.
had it on my microphone system. Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be here. That was a great video, and I definitely want to look that up because I was just having a talk with Janet, who turned me on to this whole Fox Life thing, and
Awesome.
really brand new. I'm excited. So when I hear it's going to change as well, like, well, what else is new? Of course, everything is changing, and sometimes changes come in bigger, seemingly bigger packages. So I'm delighted, and I'm sure that the change will be just another step of growth in our path. And I already feel very grateful that I'm on this group because I have a hard time sometimes marketing some of my other products that I have created because people don't always want to change. They're comfortable in their uncomfortableness that they already know. And so tonight has already helped me in helping me help other people on other items as well. So thank you all for being here. And let me see now. Also, I wanted to thank Paula because Paula was mentioning about the new people coming in won't know this change. Well, I won't really know the change, accepting that I'll probably be watching the change happening, but not really, I'm not settled in the old way. So I want to thank you all for being here from before me. And I look forward to holding hands with you all in the present and in the future too. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And your name is DeLuna?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful name. What nationality are you, DeLuna?
I was born in Malta.
Okay.
In the Mediterranean. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But that's not the name my parents gave me. They didn't really know me. So
Oh, okay.
I think my mentor.
Well, we're delighted to have you with us, and thank you for taking the time to jump on this call. We always try to add some value on this call, and you guys all have known me for a while now, and I'm always looking for people's input to train and share what you guys can bring to the field as far as input. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime, or Kevin, or anyone. Having quality training that the field can use based on our own experiences. We don't have to be gurus at anything. We just have to be willing to step up and share our experiences and share what we do have, because I think everybody here has something to offer. Everybody has something to share that we can all learn from. And obviously we all saw it tonight with the input that people put into this. These trainings don't always have to go an hour and 10 minutes or whatever. If we do it for a half hour and people take away something, take away a nugget from this call, that's awesome. And if it helps us progress forward with this mission to help one person with the quality of life that they are having difficulty with improve, that's a positive thing. That's a really positive thing. And, I think some of my friends here, Diane and Carla and Kevin and Irene, you've all heard me say before what a joy it is to live in the joy zone. And when you help somebody, it's a joy that you just can't, understand, and you can't describe. And I certainly felt that in the first weeks I was involved in this company, and I became a joy addict. Just like a crack addict, I guess, or a drug addict. I wanted to help people and share this technology, because when you give something that they can't repay you with, it's a pretty awesome feeling. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being on. Heather, saw your great pictures of your walleye. It looks like you kicked your husband's butt again in fishing, which is probably not a shock. It's just what you do, girl. So great to have you on the call. Miss you guys. Can't wait to see you again next time. Thank you all for being on this. I will post the link for the YouTube video with Jason Clark. If you get a chance, I apologize for the sound confusion there for a bit, but look at it again. It's not long, it's 18 minutes, and it's very powerful. And I think there's something there for all of us that we can implement going forward to help us all embrace this change in a positive way, to help us all make more money, which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing, and help more people. So once again, thanks everybody for being on. Dukes, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on here, pal. You're an awesome guy. Lori, my sister, Diane, everybody that contributed, DeLuna, great to have you all here. Paula, And thank you all, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks on our next training call. And please reach out if you guys got something you want to share and something that you think will help the field. Reach out, and we'll get you on this training call to lead the call. Thanks, everyone, and God bless.
Thank you.
Take care now.
Good night.
Good night.